Welcome to Summoner Showdown 2020, where the top players from around the world try to compete to see who the best summoner is in Marvel Contest of Champions. 35 countries, 3 weeks of qualifier rounds, narrowed down to our top 8 of our most skilled players. Those players had to qualify by defeating the bosses. In week 1, they battled Silver Surfer. In week 2, it was Captain Marvel. And in week 3, they fought Iron Man Infinity War. Now we're here in our semifinals for the Europe and Russia region. Who will advance to the finals? This is the Summoner Showdown semifinals. Welcome, Summoners. I'm Josh Shelley from Marvel, and we're here to find out who the top summoner is in Marvel Contest of Champions. As always, Kabam John, Dorky Diggity Dave, myself, and Ryan Panagos will be giving you full coverage of the tournament. We've had 2 incredible semifinal rounds, with 1 more to go, the Europe and Russia region. We have 2 skilled players ready to battle it out and see who will go to the finals and win the ultimate prize. Now, what's the ultimate prize, you may ask? Well, they'll be going home with an amazing Isosphere trophy and have ultimate bragging rights as they are crowned the 2020 Summoner Showdown champion. Now, the rules have been tweaked a little bit, so Dave, give us a breakdown on how it works.
These 2 semi-finalists will go head-to-head in a brand new format based on Alliance War, featuring a drafting phase. In this phase, the players will take turns choosing their defensive tactics between Flow, Protect, and Stubborn. Once a tactic is chosen, it won't be available for that player for the rest of the series. Keep in mind that Player 1 and Player 2 can choose the same tactic on different rounds, as the choice is independent to the player. Once tactics have been chosen, we move on to the picks and bans phase. Each player alternates banning a champion from the pool. They'll have to choose wisely, as you can only ban 3 times. Also, unlike tactics, the champion pool is shared, so champions chosen as bans, attackers, and defenders this round will not be available in following rounds. From there, one player will choose an attacker first, and then the opponent will counter with a defender based on the remaining champions in the pool. Then we repeat the process with the second player. Now, Player 1 and Player 2 will run a best of 3 rounds competition to decide the winner.
Well, there you have it. Now let's meet our 2 semifinalists who will be going head-to-head in our Europe and Russia region. Introducing first, advancing from our week 2 of our qualifier rounds, beating Captain Marvel, it's Quatschpete.
I'm Quatschpete. I'm representing the European and Russian region. I'm fighting out of Garfing, Germany.
Next up, he advanced from our week 3 of our qualifier round, defeating Iron Man Infinity War. It's SwatU.
I am SwatU. I am representing Europe and Russia. I am find out Ostrzeszów, Poland.
We'll kick things off in this series with SwatU choosing his tactic first. Over to you, Dave and John.
So we've seen in both Asia and the European semifinals here, peoples have started to differentiate their tactic picks. Do you think we're going to see more of that today?
Yeah, I think so. I think they seem to be a little bit different in the way that they play, in the way that they think about the game. And that's actually been one of the most interesting aspects of it.
I'm going to choose Stubborn.
And here we go. Again, we see this this difference. We have one going Flow, one going Stubborn. So it turns out, like in our earlier commentating, that we were saying we were kind of shooting ourselves in the foot if you go with a particular, with a different tactic. But it doesn't seem to be the case, because a lot of times they're not even picking champions in the tactic. They're choosing a completely different strategy altogether.
Nova.
Ooh, Nova. I think that's a good ban, actually. There's only really a couple good Nova counters, and obviously you don't get to pick who the attacker you're fighting the defender with is.
Yeah. So we have Terax there. I figured you'd be jumping for joy on that one, because he's not often picked, and he seems to be a closet favorite of yours.
I'm super excited to see that Terax getting a little bit more respect here, especially with Flow and or Protect. He's just a phenomenal defender, especially on that boss node when he's going to have a massive HP pool. It'll be really tough to deal with, and you won't have a lot of options to properly counter him as the defender is picked second.
My attacker for Flow is going to be Black Widow Clairvoyant.
Yep, absolutely. So that was a great play to make sure that he can play that that Black Widow, and also Black Widow being a control champion is going to be able to handle Flow. Havoc, though, with Black Widow having energy damage on basics is going to be pretty difficult. So I think he was kind of in a lose-lose situation. I probably would have gone Havoc over Domino, just kind of in hindsight, because he's just going to kill her. Yep. unless he can lock into the poison mode and do a little bit of power drain. Maybe he can
Cable,
mitigate it a little bit
as a defender.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Ooh, Cable against the Nick Fury here. I agree. That's very similar to the Elsa Bloodstone counter. Just going to degen you whenever you bleed him.
All right, Quatschpete, you're starting off our first fight. Hopefully you set the bar high, but before we get into it, are you worried about that energy damage that will build up Havoc's plasma buildup?
Yeah, I'm very worried. I know the matchup pretty well, and it's not good for Black Widow. So you get a lot of plasma damage onto you. There's not really a way to get around that, so that's why in my masteries I went all in, and my plan is to get as much damage in as possible before I basically kill myself. Yeah.
All right, well, good luck. I'm excited to see this first fight. Let's see how you do.
This is definitely going to be an interesting fight, very fast fight. Perhaps maybe if there was maybe some energy resistance chosen in the masteries, knowing he's going up against this fight. And he's taking some unnecessary hits there.
Hey, you know what though? That's actually not a bad idea. Those hits are going to do less damage than the plasma, and maybe he can get to his SP2 if he just takes some hits.
Yeah. Well, in the block.
That's about it right here.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, not much you could do in that fight.
Ooh, okay, Quatschpete, that was very tough. I mean, power to you for getting through that as well as you did. The odds were against you with that buildup of that plasma damage. How do you feel like it went? Do you think you lasted longer than you thought of originally, or what was going through your mind?
Well, I knew that I wasn't going to last long. Unfortunately, my intercept attempt at the start failed. But yeah, it's a very tough matchup, this one. I'm not that happy with my try. I think I could have done a little bit better, but with the plasma damage and not having an armor up effect on Black Widow to prevent that, it's very tough.
All right, we just saw Quatschpete. Now we're moving on to SwatU. Nick Fury versus Cable. Now, from what we're gathering is Nick Fury is going to apply bleed with every hit, but Cable is going to be degenning you with almost every hit. John and Dave, this seems like another tough matchup. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so almost all of Nick Fury's hits here, his special 2, his heavy attack, his mediums, his light 4, all of those attacks going to be applying bleeds. Each bleed you put on him is going to degen you, one of Cable's passive abilities, so going to be interested to see which special he opts for, maybe if he can mess around and only go for those first 3 light attacks to not get any bleeds, but overall going to be a really tough fight.
Yeah, he's going to have to do some improvisation, absolutely. Okay, we have SwatU here, and Quatschpete went first, but he didn't really do that well. I mean, 97% isn't really a lot to beat, but SwatU does have a Nick Fury here going up against Cable, so...
Yeah, both of these first round fights really tough to deal with. Both of the defenders here just pretty much completely countering the attackers, so great drafts for the first round here on both sides.
Oh, look at that degen, man. That's a lot of damage, man, but he is already at 95%, and he's got a second life there, so if he just goes and just hits into block, he should be okay.
Yeah, went for that early bleed. I actually wonder if in this situation the play to do is just tank a bunch of hits from Cable before you pop that LMD to get your power up higher so the degen doesn't hit you as hard.
Either way, it looks like he took this round. I'm sure he's feeling good about it. Let's go see what he thinks.
SwatU, way to go. The first round is yours. Now, I noticed you're playing a little bit cautiously, not utilizing your SP1. Was it because you already had the round in the bag, or any other reason?
Yes, I saw that I am below 95% and just didn't throw it. I was also a bit afraid that if I do more than needed, Cable will start healing and
Yeah, well, great job. Round 1 is yours, but there are still more rounds to come. We shall see how we do in the next ones. All right, let's get it.
Protect.
Protect picked by Quatschpete. Interesting.
Yeah.
stubborn.
So Protect and Stubborn, they kind of cross paths a little bit there because you do have a few of the bigger players on the defensive hashtag there.
I'm banning Dr. Doom.
Taking out Dr. Doom.
Sentinel.
Yeah, I agree with the Doom. Doom is arguably one of the hardest defenders to deal with on
my next
Stubborn.
round thing.
Even if you bring the right counter, he's still super tough to deal with.
All right, so SwatU ban 1. We've got Sentinel. Because Sentinel is pretty rough. It's pretty rough on Protect if he is going for an Omega Red. I mean, we've already seen Sentinel go up against Omega Red, and that's those are not fun fights.
No, that's just a long fight that nobody wins.
Yeah.
See, Man-Thing and Apocalypse. So yeah, so far, outside of that Sentinel, only tier 1 defenders I would say here. But yeah, that Sentinel would definitely make me believe that he was leaning towards that Omega Red.
Abomination.
Yeah, I agree.
Abomination. Okay.
Symbiote Supreme.
Interesting.
Void might be interesting here.
Yeah. I was actually thinking Bishop could be pretty good. Symbiote
Yeah,
Supreme,
energy damage.
Yeah, all those basics are doing energy damage. You're gonna have to be really clean at dexing that special too if you want to get through that fight.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Void pick as well. Void, very tough to deal with on the defender node. Or the boss node there.
I'm choosing Bishop as a defender.
Bishop! Yeah, you go
All
for
right,
the
nice.
Bishop.
Nice call. Nice call, dude.
I like it.
My attacker with Stubborn is going to be Void.
Okay.
It's a good pick.
Yep.
Void, probably the most picked Stubborn attacker we've seen, and kind of inarguably so. He's a great Stubborn attacker.
Hitmonkey.
Yeah, Hitmonkey.
I don't dislike the Hitmonkey. I think Hitmonkey's a strong defender. I think he's a little bit easier almost on the boss nodes because he's not going to be getting into his monkey schemes, but yeah.
You're also going to have to stay away from the special 2 if you're not practiced on it. Because that's a little bit tougher than the first one. But hey, if he's got it locked down, and I guess he should be, he's in the semifinals, then that should be a show to watch.
All right, well, let's talk to SwatU about it. SwatU, now you've lost the advantage of going second now, so you have to start off and set the bar up high with that damage taken off for your opponent. So with these energy damage increasing Bishop's attacks and bonuses, how are you going to work your way around that?
I think I will try to hit Bishop on block and see how many HP I am losing via blocking his special 1. But if too much, I will try to bait special 2. And obviously I will try to do it via special 3, but we will see. As you said, this is a tough matchup. I didn't expect, and for sure good choice of Pete.
Well, let's see if Quatschpete is going to be laughing his way through this round watching you compete. Let's find out. Good luck.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really hard here. That energy damage is just going to constantly be popping Bishop up with more prowess, giving him free power, giving him healing, giving him unblockable specials. Again, just a really good draft here. It's going to be hard to deal with Sim Supreme.
Yeah, I agree. And it looks like he's trying to stay away from that special 2, because that's a hard one to get out of if you aren't practiced.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the SB1 might actually result in a lot more chip damage because he will be getting that bonus energy damage on all of his hits. I like the strategy he's implying here, though. The just kind of play around, wait, and get that special 3, so you're kind of conserving the amount of hits you're going for against Bishop. That's a really good strategy. You can go in after here, get those big bleeds, and save yourself a lot of prowess to deal with.
Yeah, 100%, man. That bleed's gonna save him a lot of trouble. But he did push him to that SP2. Let's see if he knows how to get out of it, and he does.
Oh, great dex there, great dex. Yeah, not an easy special to like fully dex. Normally you'll block at least a hit or two of that, or get clipped at the end. Really good stuff there.
Yep, and he had some really great reparries back there, 3 in a row. So great timing on those blocks.
Yeah, playing really well here. Managing a very difficult fight very well. Curious to see if he's going to continue baiting that special 1 now, or going to keep going for the special 2 after that first successful dex. Maybe get a little more confidence in it now.
I mean, hey, you know, once you dex one of those, you start feeling yourself, man. That's you get in there. You get in there.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, totally agree. It does just block it there. He's doing a really good job of keeping the prowess very low here, not going for any unnecessary hits. Gets a good stack of bleed there. Gonna be some really good damage. Dealing with this fight really well. This is by no means an easy fight whatsoever, but he's making it look a lot easier than it actually is.
Yeah, I agree, man. It looks like he's just going to go for that SP3 strategy one after the other, and he's avoiding hitting into the block too much, because I think earlier on in the fight he saw that he was just healing him anyway.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's gotten around that. It's a really great adaptive fight.
Yeah, oh yeah, super smart play. Getting around this very well. Not an easy thing. Anytime you touch Bishop here, you're just going to be making him more powerful and giving him more power, which means more specials to deal with. You can see here, like, 1 5-hit combo is almost enough to give him 2 bars of power. So manages well. Yeah, dexing that SB2 like nobody's business now. Seems like that's the way to go now. But is really low on health now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the first one was actually bad luck there at the end.
Parried, yeah.
All right, Quatschpete, the pressure is on. Now, this is going to be Void versus Hitmonkey. Going to be a tough defender to deal with here. Getting a lot of bonuses whenever you knock him down.
My plan is to not knock him down, actually, with Void. Because if I knock him down, then he gets the evade charges, and I don't really want to deal with that, so...
All right, have you been able to practice dexing both Hitmonkey special attacks?
Mainly a special 1. I don't think you can really dex the special 2. At least I cannot do it, so I try to push him not to a special 2 and only bait the special 1s.
All right, will we see you round 3, or will SwatU be taking home this semifinal win? Let's find out. Quatschpete, good luck.
So I think the interesting thing here is to see if the AI is going to be taking advantage of the medium, light, medium aspect of Hitmonkey.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little RNG there. Ooh, he's getting really lucky with these heavies coming out though. Yeah, getting really good damage in here. One thing that I think will be a saving grace is Hitmonkey is a pretty big glass cannon character. He's got some pretty annoying defender mechanics, but he has a pretty small HP pool and a pretty low block proficiency. So hopefully that'll help him be able to kind of blitz through this HP bar.
Yeah, it looks like he's saving his specials as well. Definitely does not want to get those shrugs off of those, while that is his main damage coming out here. Although willpower is mitigating quite a bit, so this is a little bit slow here, but I like the tactics that he's got going on here.
Yeah, a little unlucky with the RNG, not getting the petrifies early, but willpower might come out to actually be clutch for him here. With once he gets enough of those petrifies and the Fear of the Void up, he'll actually start reversing that healing. So far, he's doing a pretty great job of managing Hitmonkey, baiting and dexing the special 1. He's looking pretty good for this. As long as he doesn't get unlucky and get clipped here, he should be able to deal with this. Looks like he's running...
Very nice backdraft intercept there as well.
Yeah. So something interesting about his masteries here that I noticed is, despite playing Void, he's not running Resonate, and he's also not running Maxed Out Despair. So if he was running both of those, he'd actually have way higher Void damage, and he'd also be already reversing the healing of Hitmonkey's willpower, which would net him a lot of extra damage. Looks like he's already crossed that threshold, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Really, really great job here. Yeah, so Hitmonkey, whenever you knock him down, he will shrug off a non-damaging debuff, so all of those debuffs that Void puts on the opponent. And Void's primary source of damage is every debuff on the opponent he converts into just straight-up damage. So see on Hitmonkey those red numbers coming through.
Oh.
Wow.
He gets the KO. Very, very nice. Yep, without any hits received.
Whew. Good, really, really good fight from Pete there.
Woo! Quatschpete, we got to talk about that because that was beautiful. You had to be beautiful in order to push around 3, and you did it. Now, wow. Okay, so let's talk about this match. Incredibly fast match you had. You did an amazing job baiting and dexing those SP1s. Did you think you had it in the bag when, like, halfway through? Like, how confident were you in this match?
So by the time I hit him to 50%, I was 100% sure I'm gonna make it because my HP was still around 50%, 60%. So at that point, I just blocked a few hits and then it was over. Also, Void is a pretty big comfort pick for me, and he has a huge HP pool, which helps him a lot during these fights, blocking attacks. Yeah.
Well, we love to see it going to round 3 to see who will take the semifinals home with them. Let's find out in round 3.
All right, so here we have the last set here, Protect and Flow.
Miles Morales.
So far we have Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Interesting.
I'm banning Ragman.
Maybe he knows something we don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested to find out what that is.
So
because there's 3 other Spider-Man. There's OG Spider-Man. There is Stark Spidey, and then there's Symbiote Spidey.
Stealth.
Wolverine Weapon X.
Magic.
Yes, that's always a tough one to deal with. Just kind of.
The champion.
It looks like he's setting himself up, like you said earlier, setting himself up. But I mean, he's not a defense champ.
Mm-hmm.
Regular Wolverine is.
Warlock.
So the Warlock pick, I like the Warlock pick here. Denying a Protect Defender.
Ebonima.
Interesting.
So he's just gonna have to get around that falter at the beginning. But then after that, I think he should be okay because, I mean, if you have Warlock, you don't need to parry, you don't need to block or any of that kind of stuff. You can just sidestep with the massive amount of reach that Warlock has. You sidestep all those attacks and get right in.
Yeah, the only thing you have to be careful of is just
the degen.
Yeah, the degen would get pretty nasty on that boss node.
Guardian, please.
Guardian, okay. That's not uncommon. We've seen that one before going up against Flo.
Yep.
Then I'm going for Annihilus.
Oh, we want Annihilus. We see a lot of that. Annihilus going up against that Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have gone Iron Man Infinity War. He's a bit tough, and he's gonna be real tough at the end there once he starts like procking like crazy.
All right, Quatschpete, you're coming off your KO. Confidence is high. This is to start the bar. We believe. Can you do it? Everyone's watching. Well, before we get into that match, how are you going to be dealing with those falters?
So my plan is to basically only go for heavy attacks. I have maxed out the boons, which helps me to get a lot more damage in. Also, Warlock's bleeds can stack, which means that I do not have to wait for the bleed to expire, so I can just stack them up. And for the falters, I just have to keep in mind that every 20 stacks, I do not have to, shouldn't tag into him, so I do not falter and he takes me out. So it should be a fun one.
All right, a lot of math in that brain going on during this match. Good luck. We shall see how high the bar is set.
All right, John, are you feeling confident on this fight here? I mean, Quatschpete's got a lot riding on this here.
Yeah, I think if he... very unlucky there. Yeah, not a good one. So it's going to be very particular timing on being able to get those heavies. I think he's charging it just a little bit too early. There you go. That's a really good heavy.
Yep.
Gets the crit on it as well. Yeah, just not getting the timing right a little bit. I think he's going to want to charge that just after the hit, so he could just barely get it. But doing a really good job of managing Maw's focus here, getting a lot of damage into. Fortunately, gets the falter there, or the degen.
Yep.
Yeah, rough.
Yeah, he got the falter on that one. He went to punish that SP1, wasn't watching the timer there, and fell into the falter.
Quatschpete, 75.42%. Whew! So in the beginning of that match, there was a lot of distance. You got an unfortunate hit, and you couldn't get back into it to get that heavy. Do you think there was just too much, I guess, pressure for counting the numbers on those falters that kind of got in the way?
I don't think so. In the beginning, the number is slow. You do not have to pay attention to that. But my spacing was not good. You have to, if you dash back too early when more charges is heavy, there's too much space and you cannot get your heavy in. Even though Bollock has a lot of range on his heavy attack, and I missed, so I got clipped. Then the fight went pretty good, I think, for the next few seconds, but then the falter came in, and then it was pretty much game over.
Well, you definitely are putting a lot of pressure on SwatU. 75.42% is a tough number to beat, so we shall see if SwatU can manage that. But fantastic match. Wonderful job from getting hit early on to coming back and sustaining that match for a good amount of time, so way to go. All right, all eyes are on SwatU. In his mind, he is again in the advantage seat, going second in this round. Will he be able to beat 75.42%? Well, he is Guardian, facing off against Annihilus with Flow. John and Dave, seems like a tough one.
Yeah, that's definitely tough. Annihilus is a very infamous defender that people do not like to fight. It's going to be pretty tough for him to keep his armor up, especially when Annihilus can add armor breaks just on contact, even if it's into block. It's a tough SP1 to Dex. Wall play doesn't really help out too well here. He's got a lot of tools in that belt there, especially with Unstoppable. Definitely not envying anything about that fight.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think one of Guardian's biggest damage points as well is that Special 2, and in order to get the bonus damage on Guardian Special 2, you're going to need that armor up. So it's going to be really hard to actually be able to get that bonus damage. I think he's going to have to rely on a lot of intercepts here, and pretty much can never let Annihilus touch him, even into block.
All right, we've got Guardian and Annihilus. He's gonna have to show up here because Quatschpete got that KO last round, and this is to take the cake.
Yeah, Quatschpete doing really great in that second round. Struggling a little bit more in the third round here, but this is by no means an easy fight for Guardian here. Anytime Annihilus is going to touch him, he's going to be removing that armor up, which means he will lose a ton of his resistances, as well as that bonus damage on the Special 2. So...
Yep, and the health to beat here is 76%, and he's already looked like he's gotten this fight down with grace, man. Did you see that earlier backdraft intercept?
Yeah, man, he's got it on point, and intercept's definitely the name of the game against Annihilus. If you don't have a way to nullify or to get rid of his Unstoppable, you just can't let this guy touch you at all, especially in stun immune. Yeah, pretty much in the bag now. One Special 3 is going to be more than enough now.
Yep, that is it. 76% is the threshold, and he just started the SP3 here.
Yep. Yeah,
he's got this fight down, man. I'm impressed.
Yeah, hasn't even taken any damage really here. Maybe one blocked hit, but yeah, it's still 100% health. Really great job, totally dexing the Special 1 there, consistently baiting it, consistently punching.
Takes a little bit of a hit there, yeah.
You know what though? It's actually not too bad when you get clipped with Annihilus compared to a lot of characters though. He just throws so many debuffs on you. He's just willpower fodder. So, huge damage there.
Oh, and he takes the loss.
Yeah.
But he had more health. Now, what's interesting there is if he didn't lose his armor, he would have KO'd that fight.
Oh yeah, he would have totally just blown him up.
SwatU, that was beautifully done. Amazing intercepts. You didn't get hit for like the first minute and a half to 2 minutes. Amazing spacing with those SP1s to bait those out. I gotta say, like, congratulations, you're going to the finals. That is amazing, SwatU. Like, what were going through your mind in that match? It was near perfect.
Well, I wanted to defeat this Annihilus. Believe me, I had better matchups when I was using 3-star, but no, here I had 5-star, so you see. But
yeah,
I am happy.
Absolutely, you should be. You're going to the finals for the Europe and Russia region. That's amazing to hear and to do. It wasn't easy to get to this moment. You were patient, reserved in getting those hits in when it counted in that last match. So congratulations on that. Can't wait to see what you have in store for us in the future.
Congrats to SwatU. He did an awesome job with the Guardian. I'm not that... I have not that much experience with Guardian myself. I don't have him in my roster. But looks like he's a very strong champion. So, yeah.
Well, amazing. Done amazing sportsmanship.
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing sportsmanship from both of you. Again, it is not easy to get to these semifinals round, so congratulations to you, Quatschpete, for getting here. And again, SwatU, congratulations for making it to the finals. I cannot wait to see. Thank you all for tuning in to Marvel Contest of Champions Summoner Showdown 2020, baby!
Well, there you have it, folks. What an amazing semifinals featuring Quatschpete and SwatU. Great skills displayed from both players, but it will be SwatU moving on to the finals, competing against Happy McMuffins from our Americas region and Anger Danger from our Asia and Oceania region. From Dorky Diggity Dave, Kabam John, and myself, thank you so much for tuning in to the semifinals, and we cannot wait to see you next time when we crown our 2020 Summoner Showdown champion.